Alright, hey guys, Garden here today, bringing a brand new video. Today I'm going to talk about why Aegislash, was banned from Gen 6 OU. So, like, I've been playing, like, a lot of Gen 6 lately with my friends, like, fooling around, like, Citra, um, doing, like, a lot of challenges, doing, like, cage blocks, soul links, draft links, which is, like, the draft lock plus soul link combined, or draft cage lock. I want to do a 2v2 draft cage lock soon. Um, yeah, it's been pretty fun, actually being like able to play like the game, like instead of like pasting our mods onto Showdown, we could just play each other in the actual game. That's like pretty cool. So, and a topic that came to my mind was like, okay, um in my challenge, I actually ran into Hone Edge 3 times in a row, and like the place under like the mansion. I was like, damn, is this really like a 5 or 10% counter rate? Cause damn, that was really lucky. And like Aegislash is just like a god mod in that game. It's also a god mod in PvP, like, which is why I got banned from OU. And I want to just quickly talk about like, damn, is this thing really that broken? And then I look back, I was like, yeah, it's really broken. And basically, I'm gonna be showing you guys like why this shit was so fucking broken. All right, so obviously we had the move on every H slash, which is King Shield. King Shield was fucking nuts. It was insane. Um, it basically, before its nerf in Gen 8, it was actually -2 attack if someone did a contact move on you. So if you were a physical attacker and you were trying to hit Aegislash contact move, you were basically neutered if they King Shielded on you. So then it's like, okay, let me bait out the King Shield. Only problem was, like, let's say, I think, let me just set up. Well, here's a problem with that. So like, I think it was like this, and then this, and then it was quiet nature, and Shadow Ball on this thing hurt a fucking lot because, in case you didn't know, it's a special attack and attack stats turn to 150 each. For Yeah, they turn to 150 each. So they turn to 150 each when it turns to sword mode. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna set up, and then he just switches to sword mode, shadow balls you, and then it's like, okay, let me just hit it. But even if you do hit it, you might not do that much damage, and then it just shadow balls you back, and it's like, well, shit, it's a lot of damage, getting hit by 150 base special attack. Can I show the sword mode? Okay, basically, yeah. So the sword mode is 150 special attack, but I guess you guys can't see. Can do it. What if I go like a smoke analysis? Um, yeah, here you go. 150 special attack, 150 attack. There you go. So this is fucking insane. Just like getting hit by this. And then keep in mind he could run other moves like for this set I think it was also like Pursuit or Sacred Sword. I think majority use Pursuit and then Shadow Sneak. And basically since you're minus speed nature, it allows you, like, first of all, since you're minus speed nature, you can you basically almost guarantee yourself to go second almost every time against your opponent, which is really good because then you'll always get hit when you're in shield mode, and then you always attack when you're in sword mode, which is bonkers. And then since you're 150 attack, you might as well you get the luxury of being your 150 attack without a minus attack nature, so you get the luxury of being a mixed attacker that hits really fucking hard, um, with both your special and physical moves. Because then it's like, okay, I'm gonna switch out. Okay, like what? Let me switch out and not fight, not deal with this King Shield bullshit. Well, he can just pursue you, and also there are like also certain mons that like say you're running like Jirachi for example. It's like, oh shit, I have Jirachi. Like you're like, okay, should I even switch to Jirachi here? Because then if I switch into Jirachi and then he switches into Aegislash, it's like, oh fuck, I'm gonna take a Shadow Ball Pursuit here, and obviously I don't want it. Like, do I even U-turn? Cause like he King Shields. Like shit, man. Maybe I shouldn't even run this fucking mon. But obviously, like Jirachi wasn't used that much when Aegislash wasn't banned, obviously. But that's just an example. Like certain mons, it just invalidates certain mons from like going in, cause it's like fuck. He brings in Aegislash, I'm screwed. And then like if he doesn't bring in Aegislash, and it's like, oh okay, so if I attack here, will we switch to Aegislash? It's like, damn, I got guessed twice in a row. And if he does switch to Aegislash, should I just double? But then what if he just attacks me? Then it created mind games that that shouldn't have honestly existed. Like these mind games were just way too fucking insane. Just because you were afraid of Aegislash's presence, and then when Aegislash was actually in, you have to guess the mind game of, oh shit, do I take King's Shield? Does he have Pursuit? Does he have Shadow Ball? Do I just take a Shadow Ball? Because I think every set pretty much uses Shadow Ball. But it's like, oh shit, maybe it might be the substitute set or a toxic set, like the sword stand set, something like that. Like there's a bunch of other sets that you have to worry about. It's like, fuck, okay, even if he does bring Aegislash, what set it is? Because it has so many different fucking sets, and it fuck, I gotta guess which one it is. So like, say for example, but yeah, yeah. By the way, you can run Sacred Sword on this as well. Like take on Bisharp and shit like that if they want to switch into Bisharp, something like that. So let's go to like another set that was mentioned earlier. This is a subset. So it ran, I think it was 244, 12, and then 242, right? And it was a modest nature. And basically, this was substitute toxic Shadow Ball. So, basically, during this time of the game, well, I'm missing 10 EVs. Oh, it was 252, my bad. Um, wait, this was the exact same EV spread as last time. Whatever. So basically, at this point in the game, nobody really used Chansey or Blissey really much. It was really rare, to be honest, compared to like uh current Gen 6 OU, but even current Gen 6 OU, it's not even used that much either. Um, yeah, so because of that, there wasn't many switch-ins to deal with this set. Like you had like I don't know Mandibuzz, and but Mandibuzz would still get toxic. I guess Hippowdon could like take a shadow ball, could take shadow balls, but also it gets crippled by toxic. Uh, Diggersby, Diggersby didn't mind toxic that much just because it died fast anyways usually. Bisharp definitely hard countered this set, but like then again, you got like he could also be running the Sacred Sword set. Overall, it's just not great. Like I don't know, Garchomp can outspeed an EQ. Lando T, Exca can outspeed an EQ, but if you switch into Toxic or Shadow Ball, those mons are getting fucking. They're taking a lot of damage. And that was the shitty fucking thing. If you switch into Shadow Ball with any of those offensive mons, you or they just switch a substitute, and then it's like fuck, okay. They get substitute up, then they just get to fire free Shadow Balls or free Toxic. They don't, and it's like, what do I do here? Because you can't really fight it. Because like even Bisharp also like had to worry about King's Shield, unless you read it and you went for Sword Stance. But then if you get hit by Secret Sword, you're dead. I guess you could also just also Shadow Ball damage is still decent on it as well. So there was just like a shit like King's Shield just caused so many different fucking mind games, and then there was like the offensive set that I'll show you guys real quick. So this didn't even run King's Shield. This was basically like I fucking just kill everything set. Um, so it was this and Sacred Sword, yeah, Sacred Sword, and this just ran. This basically just ran max speed, uh, max special attack, and then what rest was in there, and it was naive nature. So uh, and this had a life orb. Every other set that I showed you guys had a leftovers, by the way. So just assume it was leftovers for the previous sets that I showed you guys. This set used a life orb, and it was really rare. But when it worked, it basically just won you the game because it's it had like that steamroll factor of just like, oh shit, all of my mons are hurt, and then it's like, okay, all of your fast mons just died to Shadow Sneak, and then every other mon just got outsped and fucking destroyed by Life Orb, 150 special attack Shadow Ball, or it got hit by Sacred Sword, or got hit by Flash Cannon. Like it just had everything, man. It's like it was like late game, it was just an absolute monster, and just fucking like even in like if you even this also like since it had Steel Ghost typing, you could switch into like a bunch of like support mons, and then like just do a shit ton of damage with it. And especially with like hazards up, it's like, oh shit, okay, they have to switch to a different mon, and then that mon gets hit, and then fuck, it might die to Shadow Sneak afterwards, or you could just switch out, and it's like, well, it just did a shit ton of damage. It basically just won you a lot of momentum for the game. Like, what the hell? and it was insane. The set was insane, um, because it just utilized that 150 attacking stat in both categories just to the fullest. It was so fucking broken. Um, there was also okay, so like so now that we're on the topic of Life Orb sets, let me show you a different one. So this was the nutty one. This was nutty. So we got Iron Head, and I think this was Head Smash, right? I think that was Head Smash for like Talon Flame and shit. Um, and this still had Life Orb, so it was this, and then I think HP probably, and then it was Adamant Nature. So boom, and this set killed a lot of fucking mons. Wow, this set was definitely, I'd say, the least used out of all of them, but it was still good, because it's Aegislash. It was still used. You didn't see it much, but late game when they pull up Swords Dance and they Swords Dance on you, and then it's like, oh, I thought I had King's Shield, I was gonna switch, or like, oh shit, I didn't know Swords Dance, and then they just see you sword stance on your face, and then it's like, oh, you switch to a mon, and then he just sword stance again, or he hits you with Iron Head, and then he just like kills the rest of your team by just spamming Shadow Sneak, and it was just like, oh, GG, I guess. Fuck. This was also like a really monster late game mon, but it could also like set up like on like support mons and then like do a shit ton of damage and get momentum, just like the previous set that I showed you guys. I don't think it was as good as the previous set, but it was still, definitely a threat out there, and definitely was better in certain matchups against against mons that are like not as prepared for physical threats. Um, so there was like the other set. I'm trying to find it right now. My other monitor. I don't think it's here. It's on Smogon. Oh, it's not Smogon. Hold on. Let me pull it up on. Oh, it's here somewhere. Oh, here we go. This one right here. So this one was a gyro ball one, and honestly, yeah. So you saw Iron Ball or you saw lefties on this thing, and basically, so it ran a zero speed IV and zero speed EV, so it's basically always gonna go last, and because of that, it does a shit ton of damage with gyro ball, like as much as possible. And keep in mind, the Iron Ball also makes you like slower, so gyro ball just did a shit ton, and then it just had so much. It was very bulky, as you can see. It's max SPDF, max HP, so it was really fucking hard to kill. And it's like, okay, you have a much of SPDF, and then against physical attackers, you just King Shield and GG. So obviously you have the Shadow Ball that hit a shit ton of stuff, and then you have Toxic Gyro Ball. This was insane, and then the King's obviously you have King's Shield to just stall him out. This set was also really fucking good. I think the most used one was the first one I showed you guys, though, the Pursuit. But there were definitely like the other sets were definitely used here and there. They're all really fucking good. Uh, it had very few checks, but even like a lot of the. Okay, here's the thing. So its checks were. I'll show you guys the thing right here. So the checks were Mandibuzz, Bowdon, Heatran, Lando, Garchomp, Exca, Diggersby, Bisharp. But the thing is, these two would get crippled by Toxic. These two would get crippled by Toxic. This would get crippled by Toxic. This dies to Sacred Sword. This dies to Sacred Sword. This dies to Sacred Sword. Um, and none of these mons take Shadow Ball well except this thing. But Diggers, switching in Diggersby into like something is like still not great. Even if Diggersby even if you switch in Diggersby, they could just fucking Gyro Ball, or they could Flash Cannon, or they could sub or something like that. And it's like, fuck, man. And so these were quote unquote checks, but they weren't like true checks, because like they didn't check every set that this fucking thing had. It just checked like one or two, maybe three, even three sets. Like the Bisharp was a pretty good check for, I think, like all these sets except Sacred Sword. This one was basically mostly Pursuit. Um, yeah, like there wasn't any checks. There weren't any true checks to Aegislash, and there was just a bunch of fucking mind games. Like I said from earlier, it was just like because of that, it got banned from Gen 6. I don't know how it would fare in Gen 7. Probably was still too broken in Gen 7, and then Gen 8, it lost 10 special attack and special defense. I mean, special attack and physical attack, which hurts its offensive capabilities by a decent bit. But also, King's Shield went from being -2 attack to -1. So it's like, oh, okay, I no longer have my attack cut in half anymore from from hitting a King's Shield. Now it's like I only lose 1/3, which actually helps a lot. Like, cause now a lot of mons like with knockoff and shit, they could still like do a shit ton of damage to Aegislash, when they're only -1 compared to -2. So because of that, Aegislash did fall to UU. For Gen 8 after the nerfs, I think the King's Shield one definitely hurt a lot, but also just like losing its attacking stats also is pretty nice because the thing is, like in Gen 8, with heavy duty boots being in the game, it's like, oh shit, mons aren't getting chipped by hazards as badly. So back in Gen 6, like when you got chipped by hazards alongside Aegislash just firing out shell balls and just getting like you was like, oh shit, now I'm in shadow sneak range. Oh shit, I'm in shadow sneak range. Oh shit, I just got hit by shell ball and hazards. I'm in shadow sneak range. Like like that just kept fucking happening. But now that's not as much of a threat. So like you don't have to worry about that, especially with like also the fact that he has less attacking power now. He has less kill power. He has and hazards are much as much of a threat anymore. So like the chip damage, stacking up for Mage Slash and putting in Joust and kill range isn't as bad anymore and stuff like that. So I think a lot of like Aegislash sets nowadays, like in Gen 8, use like it's just like all in on attack and like there's like choice spec sets now because you can't really like stall defensively with Demon anymore, because King Shield nerf and so like but back in Gen 6, this thing was a fucking monster and it definitely deserved to be banned. So there's my fucking 20-minute tangent. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's Grindset. Peace.